Welcome to the show
Hi.
Tuesday night. How are you doing? Mad Max Radio, Live 365, iHeartRadio, Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. Your music, we're going to go over your discography, but we know you use Kristen Parker. It's the main role right
Yeah.
there. 2000 Malibu Road, Mistress, The Fan.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know those. I'm so
Yeah.
happy. That's great. Thank you.
Of course, welcome to the show. How's everything going Tuesday?
Pretty good. I mean, it's going pretty good.
I'm
Yeah.
happy to hear that. So, because now it's October 1st, are you getting ready into the whole spooky season now that we're in October?
Well, I'm doing a convention. I think that's about as spooky as I can't really. I'm doing Scarefest, which
Okay.
is yeah, a convention in Kentucky, which is I think is going to be fun because I had to rehome a dog and it lives there and I get to see it.
Oh wow. Yeah, so you get to go enjoy
Silly,
yourself.
but yeah,
So
I
I want
know.
to get into the early beginnings here of just your work because you originally loved being into music. Music was the first passion. I learned about your father being such an important heavyweight baker. Of course, rest in peace, my condolences. And him being such a strong songwriter for Elvis. I was doing all this crazy research on things. So did you get to write a song with him at all?
I didn't. But there was he asked me to sing on I think it was three songs. So we did those together. And my dad was like so hard to work with. He was so great though. I'm so in awe of his talent. Like when I listen to it, it's like I tell my mom, "Oh my God, you were like married to this guy." And he writes everything on it alone. Paul McCartney did his song, which I flipped out because I'm a Beatle fan. Um, but what was your question? I went into my own
Oh yeah,
little
if
thing
you
there.
if you wrote a song with him. Yeah.
No. Yes, I did answer it then. Yeah, I didn't write it, but I did sing it. Yeah.
Hmm. No,
And he was like, no, 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 don't go on that note. Don't go on that note. And I'm like, Dad, don't you want it to be like original? No, just the note.
And I think what was so interesting from learning about your career early on, because now you hear all these stories about artists getting into bad contracts and things like that. And I learned about your time. I
Uh-huh.
wanted to get into that with CBS and then your time at Warner, kind of what happened first and how that went about with the contracts. Because now we're in the whole era of being independent and pushing yourself as a musician.
Yeah. Well, when I found out that Nightmare on Elm Street was looking for music, I had a talk with Rennie and Rachel, the producer. I said, can I have a chance at doing some music in this? And he was like, oh yeah, of course. So I said, well, give me 4 hours, and me and my partner will do it, and then I'll come back and give it to you. And he was like, really? I said, yeah. So we wrote Nightmare in about like even less, and I brought it back and he told me to open the car doors where the speakers were, and I played it, and Rennie like went crazy. He was like, "Oh my God, Tuesday, this is amazing! Oh my God, I want to put this in the movie." And I was like, "Oh my God!" So he said he was going to put it in the movie, but I didn't know it was going to be the title song. So when I sat in the movie theater, I was like, "What?" And I was just so excited, and I had like chills like I do right now. And he really gave me my first shot at writing music for films. Now about Nightmare, they said I was a work for hire, but I
Mm.
wasn't. And me and my partner Micah Jitsi, you know we we signed the thing, and I realized that I was getting no royalties at all for like what a minute 30 years, something like that. And I was like, what's going on here? I would get it for the film, but I just wouldn't get anything for the song. And I was like, wow, this song's really popular in the horror world and everything. And it's why aren't I getting anything? So right now I'm actually in a legal battle with Warner Brothers. And the thing is they don't have a copy of my contract. They lost it.
Wow.
And I don't either because, I mean, I've moved 6 times. I've, boxes of stuff. I wish I would have had it, but I don't. So it's really, word against word. But my attorney is, getting in there, and he's a shark. So I'm really
Okay.
glad.
Well, let's hope
Yeah,
he goes in there and eats them up.
yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I say. Yeah,
exactly. Like the shark in Jaws, pretty much.
yeah, that's what he's like. I swear, if you like talk to him on the phone, and like he's in a mood, he'll be like, "You tell that asshole. No, I'm never gonna." Okay, I'm gonna. I mean, I'm like, you scared me. He's really scary, but he's so good.
And because I was looking, cause I always look at what the album label is underneath on Apple Music and iTunes and stuff like that. So that would explain why. Did you re-release your albums to make sure that you got the? I noticed that because it said like it was like an independent DK Records and
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, I did, and because I left CBS, it was my doing because they wanted, they signed me for the music that I did, and then immediately when they got me, they were like, "We're firing your band. You're going to be a rock star." I'm like, "No, I'm a pop person, you know?" And it was like, no. So I said, I'm not going to stay here. And so we left, and then I did some stuff for Warner Brother Records. But no, it was, it was a nightmare because they wanted to change me so much, you know? So I just said no.
It
Yeah.
really is crazy how these record labels, I've heard the stories many times, they'll sign you based off of wanting your talent, and then they're like, oh, well, we're going to mold you this way. And they wanted you to kind of be that rock Madonna type of
That's
artist.
exactly. They were like, "You are like Madonna." I'm like, "No." And as a matter of fact, in the 80s, I got mistaken for Madonna like everywhere because I wore red lipstick and
Hmm.
my hair was white because it was the 80s. And I'd be in with my dark sunglasses on, and my mom would say, "She's not Madonna." And they'd be like, "Uh-huh, yeah, right. We know. Won't tell anybody you're here." And it was really funny. I auditioned for her movie. Is it Suddenly Seeking Susan?
Hmm. I was
Desperately?
learning about this. Yes.
What's the title?
I,
Desperately,
yeah,
desperately
yeah.
seeking Susan. Yeah, and it was so funny. Madonna was walking ahead of me to the audition, and she looked at me, and she was really like giving me sort of like a little bit of attitude, like a little flirty. And so I did it back to her. So she smiled. I think people are afraid of her, so they don't dare do anything. So let me see how many years later, in 93, her company, Maverick, they came to see a movie that I was in, Mistress.
Hmm.
And after Mistress, they called me and they wanted to know if I would play Madonna.
Mm.
So I was like, um, sure, yeah, okay, this is my destiny. I can see. And so we started, and then she decided that she was too young to do her
Hmm.
biography. So she wanted to do it like later when she was, a bit older. So, but it was fun. So I'm thankful for everything I do. I'm really grateful. So,
Hmm. No, I'm happy to hear that, and you've definitely had an incredible career, especially with the music and the film together, and just the people that you've been able to collaborate with, and all your
oh
achievements.
God, yeah.
Yeah.
Some of the people, especially like Billy Bob Thornton. I mean,
Oh,
and we're
so you had
still
him do the
friends.
sling blade.
Huh?
You had him do the sling blade.
I did. How do you know that?
I saw it. I was watching some stuff about you, and yeah, I did the sling blade for you.
He totally did. I told him, I've got to see you do that because you change your whole entire, your whole body language is just crazy. And so he goes, "I'll tell you what, I will do that for you if you can get me old Beatle cartoons," because we're both like really big Beatle fans. And I said, "I'll get them." Okay.
Mm.
I go, "Get ready." So when we were wrapping, I said, "Hey, Billy, come here." He comes over, and I go, "Get ready." And so I handed him all these like vintage Beatle cartoons because my friend is a collector. And
Okay.
he was like, "Oh my God, now I have to do it." And so he went back there, and I mean, he just like changed into the whole thing. And I was like, and it was crazy. It was crazy. I mean, he is such an amazing actor. I mean, he just doesn't, it's not scripted. As far
Mhm.
as far as I'm concerned, when I watch him, I'm like, you know what? I can't stand you. I'll tell him that. And he's like, why? I'm like, because you never sound like you're reading a script ever or
Mm-hmm.
learning a script or anything. And he's a really great director too, because he leaves you really free and he wants to see like, what the actors do with it.
Mm-hmm.
So, and it was cool because I got to work with a really great cast,
Yeah.
except
No.
Ben Affleck was a little not great,
Uh-oh.
nice. He wasn't very nice.
Oh
Jamie
boy.
Lee Curtis was though. Jamie Lee Curtis was great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. And the best part was working with Billy and Andy Griffith being my dad. That was really cool
Yeah.
because I grew up on him, and I still watch him. I'm like, oh yeah, put on Andy, And when he came on the set, I was like, hey, do you remember maybe when Opie hit the bird and then Billy came by and he goes, now Tuesday, you're gonna have to leave Andy alone. And Andy laughed. He was kidding, but it was funny.
Yeah. Well, so how did this all start? Because I know you were doing the commercials early on when you were a
Mhm,
kid. What was the
mhm.
highlight commercial that really started to get you seen?
Well, this is so funny. When I was 12, my best friend and we were playing guitars together in restaurants and singing our little songs that we wrote, which I can still remember, which were like so sweet and innocent and we were asked by somebody who saw us if we would like to sing in a SeaWorld commercial. So, of course, we said yes. And we did the SeaWorld commercial and it was like all over and it was like our voices and it was like the first thing that I really did that made me feel like wow, I'm doing good. It was really fun and it kind of led my dad, just being with my dad was, and the artist that did his stuff. I mean, it was amazing. And he said I used to come out and try to do like little acts for people. And like I would be sitting there like doing it in front of like Ricky Nelson.
Oh,
Imagine, no. And my
share.
dad's like, ah, but yeah, it was funny. But anyway, God, I keep forgetting the question. I'm getting
Oh, yeah.
um I'm sorry.
No,
Did
it's
I answer
okay.
it?
Yeah,
Did I
no,
answer it?
you did answer. Yeah, just getting discovered through the commercials and things like that, and imitating
Yeah,
Cher. I
yeah. And
remember
the first,
imitating Cher was big too.
yeah, yeah. It was also you know, like I was gonna say, because of my dad, I was around the music first.
Hmm.
So that's what I wanted to do. I was sure that, that's really was my heart. And when I did Nightmare on Elm Street, my first thing I ever did was Fame, which was so funny because I went in for the auditions and I had my guitar player come with me. And they were like, oh my God, she's great. We love her singing. She's perfect. But her acting, can, can she work a little on that? I just think that's so funny. And so I worked with this director. What was his name? Robert Greenwald. I don't know
Mm,
if you've ever heard of him,
I think I
but
have.
yeah,
Yeah,
he
it
worked
sounds
at
familiar.
Orion. Yeah. And so he worked with me.
Wow,
And then I went in and they were like, oh my God, she was great. So I got the job. So Fame was my first job and it was with Janet Jackson. So that was pretty cool.
that's huge.
Yeah. And after that, I think, oh gosh, after that, I think I got General Hospital and Nightmare on Elm Street. And Nightmare on Elm Street was the first film I ever did. So,
Hmm.
it was new. I was new in it. And they did a documentary on it called Never Sleep Again, which I hope you never watch
Hmm. I've seen
because
it. I heard about the history behind it, and I
I had
feel terrible
cancer.
about it.
Yeah, I had cancer and I was swollen. I mean, nobody knew it was me. I mean, would you
Mhm.
know it was me?
No, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm glad that you were able to overcome cancer, though. I'm very happy about
Thank
that.
you.
Hmm.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And so they made me do it because it was the only time they were going to be shooting it. So I'm
Hmm.
like, you know what? Screw it. All right, whatever. And then all of them, except for Andros and Rennie, talked bad about me. And I,
Hmm.
I I couldn't believe it. I was like so upset. Um, Toy and I were great friends. She came to the set with me every day, even when she wasn't working. Um, you know, I was friends. I thought they were my friends. Okay. And then when I saw that, I mean, oh my God, I was like, you know what? This is acting. I was like, I'm naive. I'm very naive. And I take people for what they are. But,
Mhm.
I think I go too fast in thinking that they're a good person. I think I'm ready to go, and then I just get like,
Oh yeah.
Lisa Wilcox and I started a company together called Toe Brights. I'm sure you heard it,
The
right?
jewelry.
Yeah. And like all the celebrities, I got tons of celebrities to do it and, came to do our jewelry like, Britney Spears, Angelina Jolie, I mean, just Madonna.
You
And I started the company, right? I brought Lisa in. So she tries to steal my company.
snakes.
Yeah. How's that? And I couldn't believe it. And after years, she apologized to me and said that our other investor was the problem. And I mean, we were in court. She sat up there. She perjured herself so bad. You know what she said?
What?
Oh yeah, I do all the designing. Tuesday's the sample maker. I was like sobbing. I was so angry. And I did
Hmm.
all the designs. And she did the paperwork. She did the contracts and that kind of stuff, which is great.
Hmm.
But it really hurt my feelings bad. I mean, it really, really. And so I told her at a show, I said, you know what? Okay, you're sorry. I will be cordial and nice to you at the shows because I have to be with these people.
Hmm.
And I said, but still, I would not trust you with my house plan.
I don't blame you.
Yeah. I mean, and
Yeah.
then she asked me if I wanted to do it again with her.
The
That's
jewelry business?
Yeah, that's some balls,
Oh,
right? I'm like,
yeah.
what? Yeah, it's crazy. I mean,
That's
I say hi to
insane.
her now. We talk a little bit. She calls me, but you know what? Not there's not the drive to
Hmm.
call her back or anything. I just can't get rid of that feeling.
Hmm. Yeah. Once
Yeah.
you break the trust, it's impossible to really be the same again. You're never right.
Yeah, it's
Mhm.
hard. I don't really think that I've ever oh yes, I have. I have forgiven some people for doing really terrible things, but some you can you know, you can find a way to be with them again or friends.
Mhm.
But some you just don't forget.
No, absolutely. And I think it really stands the testament to where, the cream always rises to the top. I could say the other word, but I'm not going to say it. But
I know.
with Wes Craven's New Nightmare, he had you in the film. No one else was from the other films, just you. So the cream
Yeah, and
rises to the
that's it,
top.
and that's another way they hated me, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was like, I had no idea. They called me and they said, Wes wants you to come and be in this one scene just to be at the funeral. And I'm like, what? And I go, who else is going from Nightmare 4? And they're like, nobody. And I'm like, what? So it was so great to work with him. And we were actually going to do more than than we could do because the film was too long. But he was interviewing us about how Freddie affected us in our lives.
Hmm.
So, it was like, hi, I'm Tuesday. I'm having nightmares. And it's just, I worked on that movie. It was just horrific, that kind of thing. Like it was
Yeah.
affecting and it didn't get in. So, it was okay. It was still fun to work with him. And on the commentary, or I don't know if you've heard it, but the commentary that he did on Nightmare 4 really made me happy. He said that Tuesday, I wrote Kristen as a survivor, not a victim. And he said, Tuesday night played her right. That's the way I wrote it. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, oh, tearing up. But because it's hard when you play the takeover for another character.
Hmm.
It's hard for the other people. It wasn't hard for me because I just sort of looked at her in the movie, but then I thought, you know what? I no. I want Kristen to have some spunk. I mean, to have
Hmm.
some fire. You know what I mean? And I got killed in the
Yeah.
fire. No, but
Yeah.
yeah, but I wanted her to be a little bit, like wanting to survive and, getting with Freddie in the boiler room and calling him a son of a bitch, all
Yeah.
that stuff.
Why don't you reach out and touch someone?
Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny. He picked me up like as the take for when he throws me in the fire. And all I could think about was, oh my God, I'm so heavy. I'm like too fat. Actresses.
Yeah, no, it's insane. Just learning about the whole behind the scenes and everything that went on. I'm surprised even Ken Sagos was t against you too.
Yeah. I
That's
mean,
crazy because I've
he,
had him on my show. He's a nice guy, seems like.
yeah, he's so cool. I love him. He said to me, Tuesday, I want you to know that I love you. None of that came out right. This
Mm,
guy edited it, so it sounded like that. And I found out later that he did edit it so that he would
mm.
have he would have kind of a thing between us, you know, to make it interesting, which is not interesting. Maybe the truth would have been more interesting. But Kenny came up to me and he says, Tuesday, I want you to know that every Q&A that I do, I stand up and I say, I want to get something straight about Tuesday night. And he said, I adore her. We're friends. And that documentary was manipulated. And I just want y'all all to know that I love her. And I saw him say that, and I was like, oh my God, he's so sweet. Now, Rodney is another case. He just did not want me because he was in love with Patricia Arquette. They had a thing
Uh,
going on. So when I came in there, he was like, and I just whatever. I just, did my thing. And you know, I don't know. And it's funny, we did a read through of Nightmare 3 at the Whiskey A Go Go. And
mhm.
they asked me to do Kristen in the first one. And Rodney was there and he comes up to me afterwards and he goes, Tuesday, you did a really great job. And I'm like, thank you. Whatever. Like, I'm blessed. I'm
Yeah.
blessed. Yeah.
Oh man, who would have thought all this drama behind the scenes for this film? How was it? Because in me doing my research on the film, the script wasn't even finished. It was going along while you guys were filming.
Yeah, I mean it was pretty much there, but there were some scenes where Rennie said, do what you feel is right, keep the same thing going, but and so a lot of us wrote our scenes a little bit. So it was really freeing and it was my first job, so I was, it was great. And I dated Andras for about 3 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. You
Yeah.
know what you guys look like? I from looking at the pictures, it looks like Buffy
What?
and Angel.
Oh, I love the angel. I love him. That's so sweet to say.
Yeah, it
Wow.
looked. I've
Yeah,
seen the
Andros,
pictures.
you should check this out on YouTube. Andros just released a new single. It's called I See Them Everywhere.
Mm.
It's it's brilliant. I love all of his stuff, but this is gonna, oh my God, if this doesn't make him Michael Jackson, I really don't know. I'm in love with Michael Jackson too. It's like, oh my God, he's just the sexiest dancer. I can't
The
hack it.
moonwalk.
I'm so sorry he's not here.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. And speaking of music, because you did the Nightmare, and it was because I read online from IMDb, because I'm a big hip hop guy. The Fat Boys, were
Yeah,
you there when they did this?
I wasn't. They just kind of inserted me in there.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But I did get to sing with two really cool people. Um, I was recording, and Steven Tyler
Mm.
walked in the room and he says, "Is that?" And I was singing playback, and I said, "Yeah." And he goes, he took me in the studio, and there's the rest of Aerosmith in behind the glass, and they're like looking at him like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Bring me in," and he goes, "I want you to sing this with me." And so we sang a song together. He had a washboard he was playing, and we were screaming Black Cherry, and it went on a movie soundtrack, but didn't go on that album that it was supposed to. But I didn't even think back then about, like, you better give me credit on there. I didn't even think about it. It was just such a neat thing. And also, I sang a couple things with Quiet Riot on Mental Health,
Mm.
and that was cool too. Um, I dated the singer for a minute, but we were really good friends. And I'm
Hmm.
sad he's not here either. I was so shocked. I was just, because I knew him really well.
Yeah, we
And
lost
Randy
a lot.
Rhodes. Yeah, and Randy
That's
too.
that's another one.
I was friends with him. Yeah. It was so sad. 24 years old, man. It's
Hmm.
terrible.
That
And
is.
Lisa Marie Presley. Oh my
Wow.
God. I won't say any more
Legends.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, this is your story. You can say as many as you want to.
Yeah. You're sweet. You're
Oh,
sweet. I
thank
like
you.
you.
Yeah.
You seem very genuine.
Yeah, well, that's why I can relate to your story when how everyone's because I've had a lot of people turn on me. When you're genuine, it ruffles a lot of feathers, and people can't handle genuine, especially when they're fake.
Yeah. Or truth, you know.
Yeah, oh, they hate the truth.
I know. They're not dealing with the truth.
No, yeah, they
Yeah.
hide. They definitely hide behind their cheap Walmart masks.
That's right. That's right. They hide in their trailer too,
Yeah.
because every time I go on a set, it's like if there's girls there, they like hate me immediately, right? But I'm so nice to them that they just, one girl told me, I can't hate you. It was really funny. It was really cute.
So, what was the first day that you saw Robert in makeup on the set?
Oh, I saw him probably on my like fourth or fifth day.
Mm,
Um, he came in and he sat in the chair next to me and he was getting his makeup applied. And I go, hmm. And I got to be afraid of this guy. And he's so smart. I mean, he's so smart and such a good actor too. And he was talking about like grouting the bathtub and building all this like construction stuff. And he just knew like everything. He didn't talk about, acting or his ability or his credits or, like some people are.
hmm.
He was great. So after he was so nice in the trailer, I'm like, oh my God, I really like that guy. How am I going to do that? But of course, I'm an actress, so I found it. But he was great to work with. He's so fun. He's so fun.
Yeah, he definitely is. You could tell, even with the line I said, reach out and touch someone. You could tell there's certain things he may improvise into that
Oh, you
role.
know what? He made up like all of them. Welcome to Prime Time, bitch. That was
Yeah.
his. Also, how's this for a wet dream?
Oh,
That
that's
one was really
classic. Yeah,
great.
you gotta love that,
Yeah.
especially with the. I bet you love that kill, especially with the issues behind the scene. You drown.
Yeah, like go down.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was weird. But I think the scariest death though of all was Amanda's
Mm.
Amanda Weiss in the first one with that rolling around
With the
the
bed,
you
yeah,
know
in the room.
yeah, yeah, and she talks about it and she's so funny. She was like, I'm like, I don't know which one's, I don't know where the top is
Yeah.
or the bottom. I was getting sick. And she's really sweet too. But gosh. And I love Heather too.
Yeah.
Heather and I had such good conversations on Nightmare, New Nightmare. Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely when it comes to Kristen, you're definitely the one for me. I think it was a shame too when they killed everyone off so quickly in that movie because I was like, you could have really made another
I,
film with you
I
guys.
wanted, I really wanted to because, I made it halfway through the movie, which I was
Hmm.
grateful for. But I thought maybe it would be really interesting if Kristen survived also, or instead of Lisa Woodman.
No, I
But
agree.
you know what I mean? Because it would show her growth from three.
Hmm.
Because Patricia's great, but she played it so different than me, you know?
Hmm.
She was more of a victim and crying and sort of that. And I didn't see it that way. I don't know. Just
No.
didn't see it.
Because I read online that they never explained why she came back, and then I read that she actually ran into you somewhere and loved that you how you played her. Is that true?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, she just said, you're the better Kristen. I didn't even know,
Yeah,
like,
even
she
she
was
admitted
coming
it.
up to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so funny because I saw her sister, Rosanna. I did a movie with her. So I
Okay.
saw her in there too. And it was really nice to see her as well. But she was kind of like, I don't know. She wasn't as friendly as Patricia.
Yeah.
I tell the truth, she wasn't. One day she was your friend, another day she know who you were. So I kind of just stayed back.
No, that's why
Yeah.
they say never idolize. A lot of your idols become your rivals because it's
Oh God, that is so
unfortunate.
true.
Hmm.
That is so true. But really, the only person that I think I get a little shaky is Michael Jackson.
Mm.
I would be starstruck. I'm not with anybody else. I mean, when I worked with Robert De Niro twice, you know, it, I was like thrilled, but I was like, eh. And
Mistress.
there was some weird stuff that went on there that I don't want to say, but
Oh boy.
yeah, wasn't cool.
Mm.
I'm sure you can figure it out.
Yeah, oh, I could, yeah, especially with the climate that the Hollywood's in with, yeah, it's
Yeah, with
definitely.
the actors and the girls in
Hmm.
it. A
Hmm.
lot of I noticed that for some reason the bigger the actor, it gives them permission to
Mm.
like press you. It does. You know what I mean? It does to come up to you. And I've experienced it, and whoever it was, I sucked them in the face.
Ooh. How about the fan? How was the fan? Because Wesley Snipes was in this big
John
movie.
Leguizamo was great. Yeah, I
Hmm.
played his girlfriend. I was the nurse,
Hmm.
and I don't know how I got in that movie because I think maybe Bob did said something and was supportive about it because I really didn't audition for that. I auditioned for a completely different role, and then they said, "Would you play the nurse?" And I said, "Yeah, cool," because I got like a really nice scene with Wesley, and he wasn't friendly either, but John
Oh,
Leguizamo was a doll. He was a doll. Really sweet.
yeah. Oh, from the Bronx. Yeah, from
Yeah.
Carlito's
And he
Way.
was
Yeah.
just, he was like, come on in my room, man. I'll give you a drink. And, he'd have a Coke. And he was really sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It seemed like he welcomed new people. God,
mhm.
my hands look this way. Um, yeah, I think he liked, working with new people and people that maybe, he hasn't worked with. Yeah,
Hmm.
it was really fun.
Yeah. For Nightmare Day, they wanted to bring you back, I think, to play, potentially to be Kristen's mother or something.
Yes,
What
you know
movie?
everything.
What movie was this? What was this going to be for?
It was supposed to be like a remake of Three.
Mm.
And I was like, yeah, that would be great. Because Brooke Bundy, who played her, I'm very close friends with her. I've known her forever. And I freaked out when I saw she was in this movie because she used to be on General Hospital. And my mother and I used to like know her as Diana Taylor. And I was like, she's here. And I went in and told her, and we just became, forever friends. That happens sometimes.
Mm.
But
Underlay.
yeah, on delay.
Yeah.
Yes. Gosh, you know everything. Yeah, they asked me to play that. And I said, yeah, if you do it, if it
Mhm.
happens, absolutely. I'd love to play Brooke's part.
Mm.
She's drunk and with all these guys. It was really fun. So, I was like, yeah, sure, but it didn't happen. So, you know, honestly, I think when they do remakes of stuff, they kind of lose me. However, Nightmare, um, it kept me hanging on like one and three and four, I have to say. I mean, not because I'm in it, but because the way it looked and the way that Rennie directed. He's really good. And the problem on the set was that Rennie liked me. Okay,
Mm.
I had no idea. It's my first movie. And everybody, I could tell everybody was like, like what they said in the documentary. Every day was Tuesday. She was the queen bee. Anyway, I I was like, what? And I don't know, I just think he did a great job. And I
Mm.
love New Nightmare too.
That's great.
I
Yeah,
love
and
it
plus
when
Wes
they
Craven's fully
become,
back too.
yeah. I love it when they I was like, why isn't Johnny Depp in mine? What is he in that one for?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. But yeah, I loved it when they were like, she was Nancy, and then and all of a sudden he's like, Heather. And I'm like, oh, very smart.
Mm.
Very, very cool. Yeah.
Yeah. I know you don't like the remake, but you did say that because I think Robert Englund's the only guy that could play Freddy. But why Kevin Bacon? Why is he the one that you think would could play Freddy?
Because um Kevin Bacon, I worked with him. He's he's like kind of like got that like swagger and that kind of like sex appeal. See, I
Mm.
think Freddie's sexy. I mean, I do. I think he moves that way, and I think he swaggers, and he's like, when he's eating the apple, he's like, peeling it. And he's just, and of course, want to suck face, but even that is not as sexy to me as like when he was sitting there. You know,
Mm.
it was so funny. I have to tell you one really funny thing. Um, uh, Robert used to call um, all the guys and me Tuesday night fights because he said all the guys liked me. So Robert was like, "Hey, it's Tuesday night fights." So I wanted to get a T-shirt and wear it to a convention
Hmm.
that said Tuesday night fights and see if he even like, you know. I was like, "Oh my God, these things I'm finding out are crazy." No wonder they hated me.
Well, the fans love you because speaking of conventions, where was this trailer that you and Robert were in where the fans were attacking it and kind of like trying to get in?
Oh, oh, it was crazy. Yeah. I was in his trailer, we were talking, and all of a sudden the trailer started rocking and people started going, Robert, Robert, and Freddie and everything. And I'm like, oh my God, they're looking to tip us over. So he had to go out there and say, look, you guys are really great. Thank you. But don't tip us over, and he was really, really sweet about it,
Mm.
He wasn't
Yeah.
like open the door and said, shut up and move away. Like I would. No, no, I wouldn't. I'm kidding. But
Uh,
yeah, yeah, that was a fun thing. I was like, I was actually it wasn't fun. I thought it was really gonna tip over.
mm, yeah.
It went far. It went far.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because it just the whole drama behind the scenes, when did things become cordial enough for you to guys to really get together as a panel and back to conventions and things like that?
Well, in the beginning, just for a minute, um, in the beginning, I was cast first, okay?
Hmm.
And Rennie had me actually read with people,
Hmm.
and see like who I liked. And that was, I was like, oh my, are you kidding? Oh, where'd you go? There you
Oh,
are.
I'm right here. Yeah.
Okay. And so I read with a couple different Alice's and right away I knew Andros was great for the part. And I thought everybody else was really good. Now I'm not saying this because of the Lisa situation,
Hmm.
but there was a girl named Lisa, and she was darker. She had dark hair and blue eyes, and she was really good actress. And I well, I liked her better. But then, it was, I think then they liked Lisa. Lisa says she was at the bottom of the trash can when they threw it away. And they went through it again. And they had her come in and they said she'd have to dye her hair because I had blonde hair you know, and then they did it. But anyway, yes, that's my little reflection. And so let me think what you asked me. This is terrible.
Oh.
This is terrible. I'm like, I've got cognitive, um, because I forgot. 'Cause I have so
Oh
much to
yeah.
say.
I even forgot because I haven't
You
listened to
did?
your story. Yeah.
Yay.
It
It was
happens.
it was something. Oh, what was it? It was something about acting. I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Um, yeah,
What
I
was
think
it?
what was
Now I can't remember. Yeah, that's crazy.
I get talking and then I'm like, what was that question?
Yeah, I'm sure it'll hit back in a
It'll pop
second.
up.
Yeah,
Yeah. It
it'll
always
pop
comes up.
back up. Yeah, but
Yeah, and it always happens. Like, when I'm doing an interview or something, and I'm like, and I start, babbling about something, and then I'm like,
yeah,
I don't even know what you said.
yeah. I think because we started talking about Lisa and the recasting part of that. Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. And it didn't have anything to do because, she really wasn't, anyone to me at that point, except an
hmm
actress that got. And when we worked together, it was fine. But
hmm
it was like working with somebody that when they yelled cut,
hmm
you just kind of went your ways. There's those kind of people and the people that you sit there and talk about things. And when I worked with Drew Barrymore, she constantly held my hand everywhere. And when we were in front of a lot of paparazzi and a lot of reporters and stuff, we were up on the stage and she was holding my hand. So everybody thought we were lesbians. And that came around. But she and I had a great time. Like we would play the B-52s in between, and sing Love Shack. And it was just really a fun experience. I think that was, one of my it was just I think it was just about my favorite job because I got to be completely different than me,
Hmm.
you know? I mean,
Yeah.
I wore a fat suit and you probably saw me in that,
Yeah.
right? You've seen my
Saw it.
picture and a
Yeah.
wig and and you don't have to worry about anything, It's like,
Hmm.
do I look thin? Do I look fat? Who cares? You know what I mean? Or do I have makeup on or whatever? You know what I mean?
Hmm.
When you're doing a regular thing and it's you, then you're like, oh my God, that was a bad angle. Would you do that again? It's crazy.
Yeah. I remember the question. It was when you guys became cordial to start doing panels and
Yes,
conventions. Yeah.
yes. Okay. Never.
Never, never.
No, no, no. It was I think I was completely oblivious
Hmm.
to any of these things. Um, Brooke Thies said that she had a scene, and I walked into Rennie's trailer and told him to write it out. Can you believe that? And I was like, "What? Why would I ever do that?"
Hmm.
I liked her. I just wouldn't choose anybody,
Yeah.
even someone I didn't like. They were making up all this thing, like we were sleeping together and all this stuff when I was going out with Andros, And of course, Andros and Rennie were kind of like, like a little bit.
Yeah.
And
Tuesday night fights.
yes, isn't that so terrible? No, it's actually funny. But yeah, uh, we became cordial. So I was oblivious. So I was cordial and nice to everybody. Kind of knew the ones that were more friendly and the ones that stayed kind of,
Hmm.
over here. Um, but we got through it. It was good. I think the casting was ended up being really good.
Hmm.
I think everybody blended really well.
They
Um,
did.
yeah.
Nothing beats
I
that beach scene when you're on the beach with the claw, the shark fin.
because you know what? Every time I was like jumping because it looked like it was going to come right up, right there because it was going fast and it was
Yeah.
aimed at my crotch. I'm like, and also, I bet you know this too, that my bathing suit in that
Hmm.
scene. Do you know about that?
Yeah, it was a deleted scene. It didn't make the film.
Right. There's another one here. Okay. So they bring me in my bathing suit to wear, and it's like one string up the butt and like one string and then a little patch.
Mm.
And I'm like, Rennie, I'm not wearing this. You're gonna have to sew a little skirt around it because I'm wearing this. And he's like, oh, Tuesday, but your bottom looks beautiful. You want to see it? I'm like, no, I don't want to see it, and I don't want anybody else to see it.
Yeah.
And so they had to sew that on for me. That's a little bit of
Oh,
trivia. Yeah.
yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that scene and the sand. There were some issues with the sand. Is that true that it got in your
Oh, with
eyes?
me? Oh, yeah. I tried to do the underneath part when he puts the foot on me,
Hmm.
and they gave me goggles that were very tight. But when I went under, sand filled all in my eyes. And I'm like, I can't do it. It like hurt my eyes.
Wow.
And it scratched them up a little. And I was like, get the body double. And they did. It was
Hmm.
very sweet. And she did it. I don't know how she did it. I honestly, I don't know. I
Hmm.
was, yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what I think is so funny? Watch this in that scene. When Freddie is got the sunglasses on and
Hmm.
he's like, or whatever line he says, and then he goes, it's like I die when he does that deep breath, and then it's just like so like I got you, it's so funny. I can't believe I did that, but I did. Um, yeah, you look
Yeah.
for it, okay? Look
Yeah, I'll
look
look
at that,
for it. Yeah.
and you will see that breath, and it's like ugh, it's just so awful. And then he laughs like that. He's so great.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
the most when you look back at the film, the most upsetting scene is when your mother's character gives you the sleeping pills. Then you're like, oh, it's the death sentence, which led to that
Yeah.
scene. And then when you get into the boiler room,
And then I'm burning. Yeah. I
hmm
mean, oh yeah.
yeah,
That was great. I really liked Andros's reaction to that as an actor. I liked it.
yeah,
And also the scene with Lisa and him on the couch after I've died and they're
hmm
watching me on
on
there.
the video.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, he's great in it. I mean,
hmm
I don't know. I mean, Andros and I are still, we're great friends. I mean, I love him. I think he's so talented. But when we went out, he was really young and I was
hmm
older than him. And, it was kind of like him learning um how to be, how to be with me. And for some reason we clashed a lot.
mm
And now, we're just like, great friends. I mean, we had a little time where we were kind of like, kind of having little affairs in between stuff after we broke up, but then it changed. But
mm.
I love him and I want you to listen to his song so
Oh,
bad.
I will. I'll check it out. I got to credit his line too, because I do like he's like, we're dropping off like flies here. That was a
Yeah, and he
great
goes,
line.
yeah, I love that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? People said they didn't like his death scene. I loved it.
Mm.
He was like fighting Invisible Freddy,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the way he jumped and did all those things, I thought it was cool.
hmm
He always says everybody hates my death scene.
And it's the most
Yeah,
popular film in the franchise, like, as far as
yeah,
the people
yeah.
going to the theaters. Yeah.
And made the most money too.
Yeah.
Just really, really wild. Have you seen my videos?
I
I
have, especially I checked out the Nightmare one. I checked out some of the other ones on
You got to
YouTube.
check out my just my videos.
hmm
Um and I'm gonna tell you what their names are so that you
Check them
will
out.
look.
I checked out
Yeah.
Uncovered, the newest. I think that's your newest album that you had.
Yeah, yeah. That's the
hmm
newest, but I just did a remake of my dad's song, The Wonder of
mm
You. Do you know that song?
No, I
Elvis
got to
did
check
it.
that out.
Elvis did it. It was like number one. It was so amazing. And yeah. And I have another one. One's called Crushed,
Okay.
which is very my mom always says, why don't we all get our buckets now? We can just cry in it. She doesn't like it. She's like, it's too sad.
Oh,
And I think it's the best song I ever wrote. So
mm.
and then I have another one on there called Just Like That.
Just like that. Okay. Yeah, I've seen that. I
On the
listened to that
beach.
one. Yeah.
You saw that beach one? Yeah. I
Yeah,
like that one.
online. Once I saw, 'cause I saw a couple of the music videos. Once I was looking up your music for Nightmare on Elm Street and things like that, and then I looked into your
Mhm,
records, your debut album, self-titled by your name.
mhm.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry because that was like the reviews on it were big, like it's
Yeah.
really
And
successful.
yeah, and then they didn't put it on the album. Okay.
Yeah.
That was the first, they really screwed me. They
hmm
screwed other people too, like
Yeah.
Sinead O'Connor and, people that are not on the album. And it's the title song.
hmm
How often do you see an album that the title song isn't on?
Yeah.
You know,
That's
that's part of our, and right now they're doing the licensing without my okay. So literally they're putting it in all these, CD pat box set and all this stuff. And, they can't be doing that. It's totally illegal.
it is.
So it's not like I'm trying to like, get all this money from them or whatever, even though they own it, they owe it to me. Um, I just, I just would like to get, paid from
Mhm.
now on.
Yeah. No, and you
Yeah.
deserve it. The hard work with these films and these companies,
Yeah.
they know what they're doing, especially with the actor strike. And what's crazy, there was a strike going on while you were doing Nightmare 4 too.
Yeah. We
hmm
almost had to, there were a few days that they were almost making us stop. Yeah.
Wow.
It was crazy. Just a couple days and then, it was all settled. But that was terrible. Oh my gosh, I didn't like that strike at all. It was
No.
very hard to work. And that's one of the reasons why I became FICOR because you know what I mean? That way,
hmm
if I want to work on something and it's good and it's independent and it's, whatever, then I can do it,
Hmm.
So now I can do both things, which is, much better for the wallet.
Yeah. So when did you start getting into producing? Because we're going to get into the films that you've helped produce. You also helped produce the documentary for Stephen King's It. Is you were a
Uh-huh.
producer on that? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I was. I was only there a little bit. My friend Michael Perez, uh, real good friend, and he does documentaries.
Hmm.
So he's the one who brought me on to that. And the other ones, like I did Robert's, biography, which was
Hmm.
really fun. Did you see that?
No, I didn't. I got to check that out. Yeah.
It's cool. I call Freddie sexy in there, and everybody's like, "What?" Yeah, it's really funny. He
Yeah.
is. He is
Yeah, I was
to me. I
surprised.
can't help it.
I like it, but it's just always like because Tim Curry is amazing. It's just the ending with the spider. It's a big letdown.
I know it's cheesy, but you know
Yeah.
what? Tim Curry. Oh my God, this new one that came out, I was like, eh.
Oh, I
Who can?
agree. I don't like the new one.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I couldn't even sit through it. It was just no. Tim Curry uses almost like comedy to scare you.
Hmm.
You know, when he was the clown, he's
Yeah,
like,
like
"How do
Kiss Me,
you
Fat
do?"
Boy, or something like yeah.
Yes, yes. And the other, the new one is just too evil, and it's just no. uh, when there's no, you can't think for a minute that there would be compassion or
Mhm.
there would be a sense of humor. You know what I mean? I
Yeah.
love him. I love him. And
Yeah.
Rocky Horror Picture Show, he's so good. He's
Oh,
great.
classic. Yeah. You can't beat that. Here's an interesting one to tap in because I think people don't really speak about it, but it pertains to, Halloween season and it pertains to dreams and then of course Nightmare on Elm Street, which you starred in. What was the
Right.
the scariest nightmare that you ever had?
Oh my God. Ooh. You know what? I think it was last night.
No.
I do. Oddly enough, um, I had a dream that my boyfriend Carl uh, was. We're kind of split up now, so I can't say
Mhm.
boyfriend, but we're friends. He was. We were in this art school together, and it was like 30 years ago. And he was like, he had longer hair, and he was like really hot, and I was like, he was like, check it out, all these girls. And all these girls were like, yeah. And I was like, no, no. I was running around like a freaking maniac. He's not yours. What are you talking about? You don't love me anymore. It was like horrible. I woke up going, oh my God, do I still love Carl? Yeah, I do. It was crazy.
A terrifying nightmare for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are the kind that terrify me. It's like the real
Yeah.
ones, the real ones where, and I also hate the ones where you wake up and you're like, you can't tell if you're dreaming or awake. And
Mhm.
also, like, it sticks with you for a while, the dream sticks with you like, ooh, is there really a clown in my closet? Because I hate clowns.
Mm.
They
Yeah.
scare me. Oh, yeah, only Tim Curry. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. Tim Curry. That's the only one.
Yeah, it's the only guy that can come in. He can swing on that pole and just come right on in. Yeah.
Classic. And just with the work, what's some upcoming work that you have? Because you've also served the producer on other independent films and things like that. What are some things that you could speak on? You're always working, you're always busy. So what are
Yeah.
some things that you can
Well,
speak on?
well, I have three movies right now on Prime, and I think they're all on Prime. There's one called The Rideshare Killer,
Mhm.
which I I really love because it was a thriller. It wasn't horror, and I don't really like being. I don't mind being a horror queen, but it's kind of funny for me when I hear that because I like, don't you know the rest of my work?
Yeah.
But I know it's really sweet, and I'm like, it's really really sweet. And no, it is. I mean, these conventions. I mean, we got paid like like a small amount for doing the movie, and then we've done all these conventions. And we've probably made $1 million on that.
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
crazy. Um, but I like the Right Share Killer because I got to play a normal girl that has a business.
Hmm.
It's a rideshare business, and my drivers are being killed. So I've got to go out and find who it is. So I love that one. And I'm in another one called The Amityville Moon,
I did.
which I played a nun.
Yeah, I did look at that online. I wanted to check that out. Yeah.
That was so funny. I was so like amazing that this director like gave me that chance to be a nun because I don't ever get a nun part or, a librarian. You know what I mean? It's like I want to be a doctor or a lawyer. And I've been able to do that lately. I was like a psychiatrist and I was just really thrilled to have gotten that. And the nun was just so cool. And we were at the premiere of it and nobody knew who I was.
Oh,
When they told, like, they introduced the cast,
mhm.
they were like, you could hear like a breath in the audience. They had no idea that it was me.
Wow.
Um, so that one was fun and it was horror. And
Mhm.
the other one is called The Bloody Man. That sounds pretty bad too. The reason I did that one is because a really, really good friend, a friend of mine, um, Daniel Benedict. He directed it and he so good. And he made it a thing that was about the 80s. It was all 80s. So it went back to the clothes, it went back to the, whatever kind of language thing, groovy, hot, whatever was in the 70s. We go to the 80s. And it was really fun. It was really fun. I got to play a cool part. I don't want to tell you what it is yet because it's kind of a shocking part, so
Oh,
I don't want
yeah.
you to know.
We'll have to stay
Yeah.
tuned.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
oh, you know what? I have it's under Mother Goose Stories on Prime, or is it
Mhm.
Tubi? I'm not sure. It's on one of them. And I did a short, they're shorts, and I did
Mhm.
a short called Sitting Duck. Did you know about that?
I did not know that.
It won like 14 awards
Oh,
and
congrats.
I won two best actress. So I was really, really
Wow.
happy.
Congrats.
But I would love you to see it because it's really funny. It's
I'm gonna check this out.
about a wife that's trying to kill her husband,
Ooh.
but like can't do it. It all backfires. It's just really funny. Um, yeah, and it's on that is I don't know why it's on Mother Goose Stories, but I mean I would think that would be like, you know, like what's that little uh, what's his name? Oh God, I can't believe I can't remember. You know that little blue dog that speaks in English accent? Bluey?
Uh,
Bluey. That's his
okay.
name.
Yeah, yeah. The cartoon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
would think, or at least Goosebumps, which I love.
Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, it's funny.
Yeah. No, I'll
So I
tell
like
you.
those. I'm gonna do a series too. It's called The Giant. Uh, I don't quite know when it's shooting yet. It was supposed to shoot in June, and it's
Mhm.
been moved way back, which is not really that different from anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Everything always kind of changes. So yeah, and I get to play a newspaper editor.
Ooh. Something different.
Nice. Yeah, and I had the idea of like being really like plain and no makeup and you know, and he was like, "No, no, I want you to be like cool and like show all your body art and stuff." 'Cause I have a lot of tattoos, and he's like, "I want to show," and I'm like, "Wait, oh, okay." And then I thought maybe that is cool, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we look at all the work that you've done, especially too with Joe Schumacher, so you were able to work with
Oh,
him.
oh yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, he fought
He
for you to
oh
get on the
oh
show.
he oh my God. He basically took me into network and no one else. I was sitting out there ready to go in and audition, and I'm like, who am I up against? And then his assistant came out, and I go, where are the other people? He goes, there are no other people. I'm like, oh. So I went in and read, and then afterwards, Joel said, I'll let you know what happens. And I guess he like stood up and he said, look, the guy that was the head of it then said, she's too pretty. She looks like Drew Barrymore. She could play her sister,
Hmm.
but not the fat sister, the unattractive fat sister. And Joel said, yes, she can, because we will make her fat and we will put a wig on her and we'll put glasses and we'll do it. She's the actress I want. And then they said, okay, what are they
Mm.
going to say to him? They have
Nothing.
like this big film director, doing a series, and Terry Louise Fisher wrote it too, who wrote like LA Law so long
Oh.
ago, and she was great.
Mhm.
But oh God, it was great. The character was he kept growing my character. Like
Mhm.
he wanted me in like all these different scenes that I wasn't even in. And he'd have me like eating a bagel or something, staring behind the corner and like watching what they were saying and eavesdropping. And it was so funny. I was eating and everything. It was so great. It was so great. But then, one day, Lisa Hartman, you know who she is?
I've heard of her.
She was one of the actresses on it, and she is amazing. She was so fun.
Hmm.
And she was on the show once and she was singing I Got the Music in Me. You know that
Hmm.
song, right?
Yeah, I've
So
heard
I
that.
would imitate her. I would imitate her on the set. She'd be like, Tuesday, don't do that. And it was so fun. And Jennifer Beals, though,
Mm.
she was so good to work with, like in the scenes. I love the energy and stuff, but like she doesn't like me. I don't think she likes any of us.
Mm.
And it was weird. And one day she walked up to me and she goes, this is your show, right? What do you say to that?
It's
I said
jaw
nothing.
dropping. Yeah.
I said nothing. No, that was really weird. I don't know. Terrible. I shouldn't, not everybody's going to know my secrets.
Speaking of other shows, Trevor, X-Files. How's it being
Yeah.
on this? That's a big one. That's a big
You
show.
know what? You read my mind because I was just thinking maybe he's not going to ask me that, so I don't have to say any bad. Well,
Oh boy.
okay. Okay. Um, let's see. It was weird. I was the guest star.
Hmm.
And um Gillian Anderson was uh she we had a scene together and it was really cold out there where we were shooting.
Hmm.
And I'm like, even to like myself, I said this. I go, oh my God, it's so cold. She looks at me and she goes, I have no idea what you're talking about. Okay. So the Coveney came and got me and he's like, don't come over here. And I'm going, you're a womanizer. That's in the press. And he started laughing and we got along great. And we heard this squealing and he said, come here. I said, what? And he goes, look at all the baby pigs in this bathroom. Oh my God. I was so in love. I wanted to just grab one and take it home. But it was great. The director was John Bowman, who did the movie, who
Okay.
was great. And
Hmm.
I was really happy to be able to work with him,
Hmm.
because they had a lot of other directors and stuff do all the other shows.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And I heard that they had separate makeup trailers.
Mm.
I just heard that. I was like, no. But I didn't really check it out.
Hmm.
I just went to the one I was supposed to be.
Exactly. I get it.
Yeah.
Man, lots of tainted idols here. That's why you can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There has,
Oh.
but also many that were, you know, I mean, amazing. I mean,
Hmm.
Barry Primus, who filmed Mistress, unbelievable. Oh my goodness. I kissed him once.
Oh.
Yes. Um, and it's just I saw him recently. He's like 80. And I'm like, he goes, do you remember our kiss? I'm like, yes, I do. He's such a great guy and
Yeah.
so talented.
Hmm. What was the last time
Yeah.
you saw Wes Craven?
What?
What was the last time that you saw Wes
The last time I saw Wes was on that movie.
on that move? Wow.
Yeah, long time.
Hmm.
That's why I was so surprised when I heard the commentary. But he's really cool. I mean, it was like you were being directed by your college professor,
Mm.
but but not, he
Yeah.
was really a smart dresser and he was very like polite and really like honest and he was cool.
Hmm. Yeah.
I
He's
liked him.
he's definitely the master of horror. All the work he's done.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. And Billy Bob Thornton is just, oh God, I already went through that.
Yeah.
He's just too amazing. And he was trying to get me on his new show. Um it's great. I went and saw his band and I was
Hmm.
like, what is that going to be like? I mean, is that going to be good? So good. Oh my God. Couldn't believe it. His band was like so tight and he was actually really good.
Hmm. Yeah, he does his own
Yeah.
music too.
Huh? Sorry.
Yeah, he does his own music too.
Oh yeah, he
Yeah, he's
does.
into it.
Absolutely. Yeah. And when we went back to see him backstage, he was going out with Laura Dern then.
Okay.
And kind of the reason that the film didn't get a lot of exposure is because Laura wouldn't do press for it
Mm.
because he went out with Angelina Jolie. So there was just a little bit of a, thing there. And
Okay.
I was so mad because I'm like, oh my God, this could have been really good for me. And I played Billy's sister. And why is he? It was just, that's happened a few times. But I still think that everything is a step,
Yeah.
that you make, even if you do something that, sucks for a minute, you
Hmm.
know?
Facts of
Yeah.
Life.
Yeah, I
You did
think
that
I think
too.
actors need to work. We
Yeah.
need to work. And I worked with Eric Roberts, and he was so funny. He said, "I want to be on the set every day. That's why I do so many movies. It's not that, I'm not picky. I am picky, but I want to be on the set every day."
Hmm.
And Eric Roberts, did you see Star 80?
I've never seen that. I got to see that.
Watch it.
Hmm.
He got nominated for that. He is such an amazing actor. Oh my God, I was so excited. I was like, I helped get him for the film.
Wow.
And oh my God, I just think he's brilliant. And the sad thing is he came out in the beginning like huge. He was, Julia was Eric's little sister,
Hmm.
instead of, then it got to be Eric is Julia's brother,
Yeah, exactly.
and I just, I think she's good, but I mean, he just snuck away with all the talent, I think.
Hmm. Hmm. Especially his role in Dark Knight too is memorable.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yeah. He was
Yeah.
great. He was great. Even in King of the Gypsies, the first movie he did when he was like 20
Yeah.
is great. Yeah.
Another highlight. How about fact when you did Facts of Life?
Oh boy. It was fun because I got to sing.
The
And
band. You were part of the band.
yes, I was.
Hmm.
Actually, I was the lead singer of the band,
Yeah.
and that little kid fell in love with me, and I like look at him like, mm-hmm. It was fun, except that you know what? I didn't find them friendly
Mm.
at all. I think sometimes when you go on a series, where there's a set cast,
Hmm.
like I was on Profiler, and I played a singer, much like Madonna, and who had someone stalking her. And I worked with Allie Walker. You know
Hmm.
she is, right?
I've heard. Yeah.
And right away, she said, "Well, let's not dress her like me." Okay. And what they did was we were dressed exactly alike, same black suit,
Mhm.
you know, and she didn't like me at all. I could tell. And I never even said a word to her except in the thing, I felt that way. She could love me in her own way. I didn't feel that way.
Oh, no, I like
Yeah.
this. This is honesty, and not everyone likes it, but we need it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I always think, if somebody hears something and, you know, they don't like it, nothing I can do about it because I'm speaking the truth,
Hmm.
You don't
Yeah.
get anywhere lying.
No, I will say this, like just from being able to interview so many people and connect with so many people, the positives do outweigh the negatives, though. I do feel that way. There's a lot more positive than there are negative people because I've had my
Oh,
fair share of
that's
those. Yeah.
great. It makes your job a lot more fun, that's for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
definitely yeah, I would say so. And like I said, it's unfortunate with everything. And you mentioned the stalking thing before. Is this bank guy? Did he went away? I heard about this bank guy that was stalking you back in the
That was
day.
stalking me. Yeah, yeah. He put up little Barbie dolls that represented me with blood all over them. It was very funny. And he had my music video strapped to his chest. So I was, I'm like singing on there, and he's like looking at me crazy, and then he's like trying to shoot the mayor, and it's just crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
they caught him, right?
they sure did.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah. I want to stay in touch with you.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, let's say
How do I do that?
yeah, we can stay in touch. I think through social media or through your agents and managers,
Oh
publicists.
yeah, I think they have your info, so I can like say hi now and
Yeah,
then.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, I never do that ever. But I
Ever.
like you. I really like you. I really
Oh,
enjoyed it.
I thank you, Tuesday. I appreciate that. Thank you for everything that you've done, especially with film and music. It's been great to get to know you and just celebrate
Yeah,
everything you've done.
absolutely. I'm grateful to be on your show.
Oh, thank you, Tuesday. Anything else you want to let your fans know before we close out, and especially where they can follow you on Instagram, your
Uh,
platforms?
yeah, you know what? I'm terrible at social media. Um, yeah, I have like Instagram. It's just Tuesday Night Official, and on X, give me a break. Um, um, I I am Night Twos. That's what I am. And I'm trying to think. TikTok, I'm not on. Nah. And what else is there?
Oh,
Instagram.
Instagram,
Oh, Facebook.
X. There's Facebook.
Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on Facebook, but if you look at it, I think I made a post 4 years ago.
Oh, okay.
I don't know why. It's just like, I'm looking at it sometimes and I'm like, this is what I ate for dinner. I'm
Hmm.
like, I don't want to do that. Like, show a
Yeah, I
picture
get it.
of a hot dog or something. It's crazy.
It's better to stay off of social media. It adds more to
Yeah,
the
yeah, yeah. It's
anxiety and
crazy.
problems. Yeah,
Yeah. Or what do I say? Or, you know.
yeah. Well, Tuesday, thank you so much for coming on the show. And like you said, we'll stay in touch. We'll stay in touch.
Of course. Yes. Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Of course, you're always welcome
You're
back on the show as well, especially when you're ready to promote the upcoming material that you're working on, especially the show that you mentioned. Got to
great.
get you back on.
Anytime, anytime. And thank
Yeah.
you so much for having
Thank you,
me.
Tuesday. It was an honor. Have a
Okay.
great night.
You too, sweetie.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, bye.
Bye.